So, Erica, I noticed you were not at the Jeff Bezos Lauren Sanchez wedding. Did your invite
Uh,
get lost in the mail, or
you know
what's the
what? I
deal?
got invited and I respectfully declined. It was too much carbon emission for me to get to Italy. So no, I wasn't invited. I think I don't know. If I could guess, Kim Kardashian's clan is not a huge fan of me.
Yeah, same here. I've had some words for the Kardashians over the years. I
Mm,
think that may have been what cost me my invite. And you know what? I'm not sad about it because the
yeah.
wedding looked tacky.
Wait, the wedding
Can we
was
just
so tacky. Like
so
that's a really nice respectful way of putting it. But like what really like sealed the deal for me, like I could have got on board with a lot of things, right? Just like
mm-hmm.
I'm just like, okay, well, she wanted a wedding that she wanted and whatever.
Right.
When I saw the rug, did you see the carpet?
Yes. The carpet sent me into another dimension, Erica.
It looked
How
like a daycare carpet or
it
something.
literally, did you see the video where someone took a snapshot of the carpet, then walked down to her basement and did a side by side of the carpet in her basement? Identical, Erica.
No, I didn't see that.
Identical carpet. When I tell you, it sent me into the ether. I was like, yeah, because this carpet looks, first of all, why have an outdoor wedding and then put down carpet? What are we doing?
I saw somebody unpack this like in great length, and I couldn't even make a video about it because after watching that one, I'm like, this was comprehensive. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we covered everything.
We
Somebody
covered
said,
it.
okay, maybe they wanted, people's heels not to sink in the ground. There's 1,000 other options. That girl was like, he could have literally hired people to come in and do custom flooring,
Yeah,
like,
a
and
hundred
then the
percent.
logistics of the carpet they were unpacking. Like, imagine all these carpets had to be rolled in and brought in on boats. Like through the
I
Venice
hadn't thought of
Canal.
that.
They're going through the Venice Canal. They're like these
No,
office space
no,
carpets.
please don't tell me you had these carpets on those tiny little Venetian boats.
I hope not. I don't
Rolled
know.
up.
I don't want to start a rumor, but just the thought of it sent me into such a spiral that I was like, I hate everything about this.
But also, you chose the ugliest carpet. If you were going to choose carpet, and let's just start with the fact that that's dumb, but if you were going to choose carpet, why not
Mm.
choose like one of those like really old, hand sewn,
Local?
ornate, locally sourced, beautifully designed ornate rugs? Why wouldn't we go with that? Hello, we're in Italy, fashion capital of the world, design capital of the world. You chose office space. That was the theme.
Like there are so many things. The outfits were
Please.
ill-fitting. I'm just like,
Ah,
for the amount of money you have, the outfits should have looked like they were made for your body. In fact, I would argue they should have been custom. Like we
honestly,
were picking vintage pieces. I'm like,
I felt like the outfits were. I mean, let's talk about her dress for just one quick second.
mhm. And her
Now,
dress wasn't like, if I was going to talk about anything from this wedding, I wouldn't even have picked the dress.
oh, I would.
There's so many
I would,
things.
because I felt like that dress is the embodiment of I have a lot of money, but I have no taste. I have no personal style. So I'll just listen to whatever anybody is telling me. People are saying long sleeves are in. Great. People
Mhm,
are telling me button up gowns are in. Great. People are saying
mhm.
add lace. Great. I'll do it. I'll do all of it. And then you end
It
up with a
didn't
dress that
match.
it didn't match, and it didn't tell me anything about her style other than a
Yeah.
bunch of different people told her, like, do this, that, and the third.
That's kind of the thing that annoyed me about it the most, is like nothing was cohesive. Like there was no
Nothing.
like cohesive theme. And like
Nothing.
where we really should have started in the beginning was with the invitations. Did you see the invitations?
Oh no. Were they terrible?
Oh girl, get on the Googles right now and go look at the invitation. You're gonna die.
Hold on.
You're it looks like some clip art shit. They
No,
made this
wait,
shit on Canva. It's
wait, am
like
I,
it's like a
am I,
Venetian boat with a guy, like a gondola guy. Then there's like butterflies in like these like very neon
no, am I looking
colors.
at the right thing?
Butterflies with feathers, like flying in the birds with feathers flying in the air, like
Oh
all
my
the,
God.
you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're looking at it.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah,
If I'm looking
share
at
it.
the right thing, Erica, I swear to God, it can't
Invitation,
be this.
way worse than the dress. This is it. This is it.
This is it. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Wait. I can't get over it.
Are
The
we being trolled?
butterflies and okay.
This
None
is
of
clip
these things
art.
even go. It is clip art. None of these things even go together. Okay, we got the
And to
butterflies.
be in all fairness, I feel like we are being rude to clip art because I think with clip art, I could have designed
know.
a better invitation than
Well,
this.
it's more like 1990s clip art. It's like
Exactly.
really dated looking. Like the butterflies are like a color butterflies would never be.
What could the
And then
theme possibly be? Are these
why
pigeons
do
or
they have
doves?
feathers? They're like dropping feathers like they're a shaman or something. I don't understand what the feathers are about. And that I think it was supposed to be
And
like
then
we are Zen. We love
there's
feathers and
shooting stars. Okay, let me just to
the
paint a
shooting
picture
stars
for
are so good.
to paint a picture for our listeners who can't see the shared screen. At the very top, to the left, there are two doves. Mind you, these doves look like pigeons. Two doves.
They're
One of
colored.
whom they're colored oddly. One of whom is carrying a feather. What's he going to do with that feather? We don't know.
Wait, a feather that's like 4 times his body. Wait.
Yes, an extremely large feather. So is it? Where did he get the feather from, and where is he taking it to? This is not actually a normal thing birds do. Birds
I was
don't
about
just
to say that. Birds do not fucking carry feathers. They just don't. They drop them.
And then to the right of that are 5 shooting stars shooting to what? To where? For
all
why?
in the same direction.
All in the same direction, but in a different direction from the birds. Okay. Then below that, we have 2 blue and purple butterflies, again flying in a different direction from the stars and the birds. And then to the very right, a dragonfly.
A
Now,
dragonfly out of no, and the dragonfly is bigger than the bird. The dragonfly is bigger than the butterfly. Like nothing is to scale here.
Nothing is drawn to scale. None of it makes any sense. What could the theme possibly be?
We didn't even space the stars out. Okay, we copied and pasted the stars. Like they are the same stars over and over again. We didn't even make them different sizes in some cases. I can't get over it. Like all the money in the world, and you guys really did you make this on your own? Or did you hire someone to do this? It's crazy.
I swear to God. And by the way, I'm not done because then that's at the top. At the bottom, more clip art. It appears to be the Venetian Bridge. You know, that famous one. Underneath that, a man in a gondola. Also to the left of that, 2 more men in gondolas. To the right of that, some more feathers and stars. And a butterfly on top.
The feathers and stars are giving early 2000s tattoo.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
You pick out a book. You go, I want these feathers. Give it on my ass. Like, put it on my back.
I have to tell you, a part of me was like, oh, is this AI? But really and truly, AI would have done better. AI would have done better. I can promise you that.
The way
GPT would have given you a better invitation.
Like, I know you've used Canva for your business before. And you know how like when you move the little like designs and stuff, it shows you like the spacing and like how much spacing is where and whatever, so that everything looks normal and not like just thrown on a page. And it doesn't look like we did any of that.
No, it does not. Truly
everything's spaced weird.
So bizarre. Anyway, this was supposed to be just a lighthearted cold open, and now we've gone deep into the ether. But I knew the wedding was tacky and trashy. I hadn't even seen the wedding invitation. My God.
Sorry, the invitation is bad. I've heard people say like, I'm her friend, and that invitation was terrible. I've heard that take twice on the internet.
I mean, there are people out here with $10,000 budgets for their wedding offering up classier invitations than that. I've been to them. I've seen them.
Listen, I would like to sell my services for a quarter of whatever they were charging to do that. I can make you a beautiful wedding invitation. Okay.
Hundo P. Okay. Yeah. You can head over to Two Queens, Two Crowns. Drop us a line, and Erica and I will design a much better wedding invitation for a quarter of the price. How much was his wedding? 50 million? Look, give me 1/20th of that. Okay.
Totally.
I got you.
What was the budget for the invitations? And were they evites?
I'm sure at least $1 million. I'm sure they spent at least $1 million on the invites.
Right? Like, I thought they would go out and they were paper, but like what is circulating around on the internet and in the magazines and newspapers that I'm sure they like fed to the newspapers, right? That looked like an evite. Were they like trying to cosplay like they care about the environment, maybe?
God bless it.
Right? You're like, oh, I just got the Bezos e-bike. They care about the environment.
Never mind 90 private planes flying into a sinking city.
Did you see the wardrobe coming in on the Venetian boats for people with the dresses?
No.
Girl,
I don't.
You gotta look up the videos. There is
Every-
wardrobe boxes that I'm just like, I can't believe they had people bringing these on. But it was like, stop! You're in Italy. You don't carry a bag.
Everything I learn about them makes me despise them more. Every last thing.
I could talk about this wedding for days.
Hello and welcome to Two Queens, Two Crowns. I am your host, KJ Miller, founder, lecturer, and content creator.
And I'm Erica Manganelli, pop culture comedian and content creator.
And today on the show, we're hitting you with another Queen Things episode because you all seem to love them, and it's a holiday week. So
yeah,
you're getting what you get, but I still think it's going to be a good one. We, of course, are going to dive into our comments section. I think our comments might take you by surprise, Erica.
Oh, okay. I didn't look at them.
They just might. We've got some interesting ones.
Okay.
And then we've got some updates on a few of our prior guests of the show. Or by prior guests, I mean prior features from the show. And then, as always, we'll end with our parking lot. So we won't be here for a long time. We will be here for a good time right after this. So for those of you who didn't know, Two Queens, Two Crowns is an entirely listener-supported podcast. We do not have advertisers. We are coming to you with our own resources every single week, giving you content that we know you guys love because we see you in the comment section engaging, but it's entirely listener supported. So when we encourage you to become bonus subscribers, it is because your support helps us continue to put these episodes out. So if you love what you're hearing, I would encourage you to head over to patreon.com/2queens2crowns or subscribe on Apple or subscribe via my Substack, KJ Off the Clock. Lots of ways to do it, all of which help support the pod. So again, head on over to patreon.com/2queens2crowns and support your favorite podcast and mine. And with that, let's get back to the show. All right. So jumping into our comment section, as you recall, I'm sure, last week we broke the news that Justin Baldoni did not submit an amended claim when he had every opportunity to. He completely missed the deadline. And we posted online the clip where we shared that news and then said, so what are y'all going to say now? What are people going to say now? I
purposely didn't make content about this at all because I wanted to save it all for this.
Well, here's what you should know. This was our most viewed video of the week. It had almost 30,000 views.
Wow.
Over 2,000 likes.
Oh, no.
And over 250 comments. And most of them agree with us.
Wow. No way.
Something has shifted in the waters, Erica. I'm telling you. I opened this comment section fully prepared to just be dragged to hell and back. Okay.
Yeah.
The most liked comment is from someone named Flat Foils. They say, I don't understand how so many are not seeing through Baldoni. That's the most
wow. Okay.
Yes.
So the tide just turned.
The tide has turned.
I can't get it.
Someone named BNG Moody said, say it louder. I'm no huge Blake fan, but it was so obviously a smear campaign by Baldoni.
Stop. They're switching sides.
This is actually one of the most liked posts. Their name is Shenaniganing. They say, early on, a number of folks, maybe you guys, were pointing out that his lawsuit failed to address the critical claims in Blake's. He was just making a lot of distractions, which were successful until a judge was involved. So here we are.
I mean, not to toot our own horns, but we've been saying that.
I feel like that's literally exactly what we said. He was submitting evidence for a different case. Totally. Blake Lively was over here talking about sexual harassment. He was over here talking about her taking over his movie. Okay, but that's different.
I'm going to bring up something I heard 40 minutes before we were going to come on, and I almost was going to text it to you, but then I was like, I want to tell her live on air. I don't think you know. Okay, I'm going to read you the headline real quick.
Oh my God.
It's related to this.
Okay.
Blake Lively's lawyers reportedly issued subpoena to content creator Candace Owens, Perez Hilton's, and Andy Signor in an ongoing case with Justin Baldoni.
Ooh, and you know what?
And you know what they want?
I'm sure communication between them.
They want to know if they ever communicated with Justin Baldoni's team, and they're subpoenaing them.
Yep. And you know what? I saw a creator say that Perez was saying he was in direct contact with Justin Baldoni's team. Like, he was saying that online.
I know.
So
they were making crazy claims. Another thing that we talked about,
claims.
Right? People are like, go check out Candace Owens' content. Me and you're like, not in a million years.
No,
like,
I'll die first. Okay.
I don't even care what she's posting. I'm not looking.
Before I go to Candace Owens as a source, get the fuck out of here.
No way.
So I'm
excited
glad
to see it.
Yes, I'm glad she subpoenaed them, because according to Perez, they have been in direct contact. Those are his words.
Would not be surprised.
Another commenter here, her name is Angel, parentheses, Taylor's version. Angel says, this was all about public opinion for him, never a court's opinion. Again, another point we made. The people are agreeing with us, Erica.
I think he's got a huge ego, and he really thought he was going to take her down, like, publicly. I really think he thought that.
And I think his lawyers convinced him that, like, that was the case they needed to try. Because if his lawyers are smart, and I assume they are, I think they probably were like, listen, the chances of you winning this in court, slim to none. But we have enough that we can work with here for you to win in the court of public opinion. So let's focus all of our efforts on that, because you still have a career. You still want to work in Hollywood. Let's focus on that. That has to be what went down.
Has to be, right?
Has to be.
There's no way they thought they could win this.
Because the judge came back and just straight up dismissed it with prejudice, was like, nah.
I knew when that website came out, and I was like, let me go look at this website. I took a little look-see at that website. I was like, we are losing this case, you guys.
Because why do you need a whole website?
No, none of it was like new. It was like they were presenting us the same shit.
It was the same thing, and it very much was giving thou doth protest too much. You shouldn't need all this.
No, you shouldn't need all this.
You're just trying to rile people up, and and he was successful in riling people up. It did work.
I know. I haven't gone on yet to do the whole, like, what did I tell you? I was right, but I might have to. I might have to.
Well, and see, the reason why I probably am not going to do that is because, listen, I'm not going to say I fully flip-flopped, but if you look at all of the videos I've made on this topic, just on my personal page, not even counting the podcast, just on my personal page, I've probably made at least 5, maybe 6 different videos about this. And in the beginning, I wasn't even talking about Baldoni. I was just talking about Blake and kind of how cringe her marketing was. That was in the beginning before we knew about the lawsuits. Once the lawsuits dropped, then I was like, oh shit, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I am part of the problem because, of this case. Okay, that was video number 2. Then his lawsuit dropped. Then I'm like, well, now things are looking a little iffy. I'm sort of like, well, I'm looking at this, the timeline of facts is not looking good for Blake. Plus the text message, referencing the dragons. I was like, oh, this doesn't look good for Taylor. But then he dropped the video. Now I'm flopping back because I know this video does not do what I think he thinks it does. Like,
I had like a little bit of a mini flop there with the same with you, especially when the Taylor stuff came out. I was like, oh no, this is not looking good for Taylor. But lucky for me, I did that all behind closed doors. I stood strong from the beginning, saying that guy was a loser because I'll never side with a man.
You're like, I'll never publicly side with a man. Whereas, see, and I don't think I ever sided with Justin.
Yeah.
What I did was more looking at what was being presented and saying like, this doesn't look good. Yeah. Or more just like, from my layman's perspective, it's giving this vibe. So at sometimes I think my vibe seemed more pro Blake, and at sometimes my vibe maybe seemed more pro Justin. But at all times, I think I can say, like, with integrity, that I just was looking at the facts in front of me and saying like, here's how it's reading to me based on what I'm seeing here. Here's how this is reading to me. And so I can stand by that and be okay with that. But yeah, I do feel like pretty consistently for the last several months, my stance has been, I don't think he is presenting evidence against what she has shared.
Yeah.
I don't. I think
agree.
he's presenting a different thing.
And now that he doesn't have a countersuit, they're just going to go forth with the original suit, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's going to be interesting because if he had the evidence, I feel as if he would have already showed it. So now I feel like he's just going to flat out lose the case.
It's looking that way.
And then they made a whole big uproar in the media. So now everybody knows about it. Now picking a jury is going to be like,
yeah,
geez, at least they're going to wait a while.
A mess. But I will just say I'm happy to see that the tides do seem to be shifting a bit, because had we posted that video even a month ago, I don't feel like the comments would have been nearly as positive.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are it's either more people are starting to realize, or the people who always felt this way are feeling more comfortable speaking up.
Yeah, saying it out loud.
And I don't know which one of those it is, but
I'm cool with both.
I'm fine with both.
Yeah.
I'm fine with both. All right, so those are our comments for the week. Let's jump into some updates. Starting with the one you mentioned to me right before we pressed record. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. They are splitting up.
Yes. They're they soft launched, they medium launched, they hard launched. Now we're broken up. And the media is having a field day with like pairing him with anyone he has a 5-second conversation with. They're like, he was talking to Kim Kardashian, dating. Like an hour later, it's like Sydney Sweeney. They talked. They were walking together, dating.
Well, I'm looking at this. Let me share my little screen here. I'm looking at this People article, and I will say, people, I've learned that they're more trustworthy than I think we gave them credit for in the 90s. Like, I think they actually do talk to legit sources when they put these articles out here. I'm not saying every single one is ironclad, but I do think people actually, they have some investigative journalists over there. Anyway, so this article is titled, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom's problems plagued them for years before split. Sometimes love isn't enough. And then they say in parentheses, exclusive sources. Okay, which again, I do tend to believe. Wait,
I do believe this, because at some point when they broke up and then like we're getting back together, or like there was like a space in between there, because they were together and then they broke up, and then before they had the kid. And I remember an interview where she flat out said like she didn't want to date him again, like because they had issues in the past.
Well, and I remember an interview where I think it was during that space where they were broken up. She was on Watch What Happens Live, I want to say. You know how Andy Cohen always asks messy questions. He asked her which of her 3 exes was the best in bed. And she definitely rated somebody above Orlando, because I think he asked about like Orlando, John Mayer, and somebody else. And I feel like she may have said John Mayer was first, then Orlando, then whomever. But whatever the order was, Orlando definitely
put him on top.
Was not first. And then she got back with him, so everyone was like, ooh, awkward.
Okay. Normally I feel like, because I see a lot of like content about hers that's like weird stuff, and I'm like, okay, she's weird, she's a little weird, right? We all are, but and then I saw some content this week that I'm like, oh no, wait, maybe he's the issue though, because I saw him like chanting on their living room floor.
Chanting
what?
A
lot of chanting. I don't know. You got to look it up. He's chanting. Apparently, it's like his a routine of his.
A chanting routine. Okay.
I tried to look in the comment section to find out like genuinely what he was doing, so that I'm not like making fun of him. I don't know. There was mixed things. Some people were saying, it's something Zen, and then other people were saying it was Buddhist, and then like, so I don't know exactly what he's doing, but apparently he does this every morning, and he's like, yeah, he's doing the whole chanting thing, and also on top of that, he has a wooden necklace carving that's like this big, and he wears it on his neck every day. Have you seen my video about this?
No.
Okay, it has like outfits. Okay, so this week I saw him at this wedding and I kept seeing him wear this thing around his neck and it's like covered and it kind of looks like it's like a vial or something. So I was like, what is this thing? So I did a crazy deep dive. Come to find out, like a community in New Zealand gave him this carving. He's got like a neoprene sleeve that it wears when he goes into the ocean. It's got like a gold outfit when he goes to a wedding. Like, I seen what I needed to see. I seen what I needed to see.
Well, and I will just, that's hilarious. And I will also just say, to fact check myself, she was on the Late Late Show with James Corden.
Okay.
And they played the game. He sometimes did a game called Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts. And you had to choose between answering the question or eating something really disgusting.
Okay.
And so the question was, rank your 3 exes in bed: John Mayer, Diplo, and Orlando Bloom. And so she put Diplo in third, Bloom in second, and John Mayer on top.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe that John Mayer thing.
Yeah, I think I'd believe it. I think
he's dated so many celebrities.
Yeah, he's got a little vibe about him. He's got a little vibe about him. And he seems like a douchebag. And sometimes the douchebags, they got a little spice.
Yeah, okay, I agree with all those things. Spot on. And then people think he's dating Andy Cohen. I don't think he is. I just think they're like very strange close friends.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so this People article says Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom experienced issues for years before they reached their breaking point. Last week, People confirmed the pair have split after 9 years together on and off. Now sources are revealing what went wrong. Katy and Orlando have been suffering through the same problems that have plagued them for years, a source tells People. They had too much going on in their lives, which makes it hard to find time for each other and iron out disagreements. When they don't communicate properly, their relationship dips to a low level. Before the split, the teenage dream hitmaker, 40, and the Lord of the Rings star, 48, had been living on an island of stress, the source adds. Things have been rocky. Okay. I mean, and this source continues, sometimes love isn't enough to keep two people with different styles and outlooks on how things are done together. It can overshadow the love. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it sounds like a pretty basic breakup. They just grew apart and had some differences they couldn't work out.
I could see them being a similar person with big egos.
Well, I could see that as well.
And I could see that clashing.
And she has been on tour, like on a world tour.
Yeah, and in space because she's an astronaut now.
And, people have surmised this is why Beyonce brings her whole family on tour now.
I don't blame her.
The whole family. I have seen Jay-Z at every tour pretty much since On the Run.
Listen, if I were her, I wouldn't let him out of my sight ever again.
Listen, and
you're coming on the tour, you're sleeping on the bus.
It's a wrap on that. She said, you will be with me or we will be on tour together.
Oh, I would have serious stipulations.
I literally have not seen this man go on tour if it wasn't a tour with Beyonce. I don't think he's been on a tour without Beyonce since like 2011. It's literally been such a long time.
No, but think about how much money he has, how professionally powerful he is, and together how powerful they are, and how he probably begged when she caught him that time. And the things that she probably was like, and this is the fucking list. And you will 100%. Do all these fucking things. That's what I would do. 100%. If she didn't, then her sister needs to beat that out of her.
And
then we need Solange.
One such thing on the list was, and when I tour, you tour.
Yeah. And you bring M&Ms because that's why. Because I like M&Ms.
And so Katy's been on tour. I ain't seen Orlando at any of these stops.
No, not a single stop. Or the kid. Right? Is there only one or is there two?
I think there's just one.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, distance, time.
Well, I also thought they'd be there when she got off the spaceship.
Oh.
And
was he not there?
I don't think so, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Fact check me. You might have to fact check me on that one.
Well, look, I mean, God bless Katy. She's still on tour. I think you mentioned she's on her last leg of the tour.
I think it's the last day in Australia.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you. We all deserve love. Well, I don't know if we all deserve love, but many of us deserve love.
In this scenario, you do, but
yeah, you probably do too. So good luck and God bless.
Yes.
Moving right along. Since we did mention Beyonce, let me just let me just say about Beyonce, I'm sure you saw her technical malfunction with her car stopping in midair
I
at her
did. I
tour.
forgot that I saw that, but yes. Oh, that's
Oh.
scary. Was there, I feel like she's
Here's
so professional. Was there like an extra harness? Was
so here's the thing.
there?
She is strapped
Mm-hmm.
in the car. Like she has
Mm-hmm.
something around her waist. So I have to assume the thing that's around her waist is either attaching her to the car or I think it's just attaching her to the car. And
Well, then
so
if the car falls,
I
you're
don't think
falling.
she exactly. I don't think
Mhm.
she has a separate harnessing her to like the strings in the
Ooh.
sky. It doesn't look that way from because I went to the
Beyonce, if you're
show.
listening, we got to rethink that.
I went to the show live and I've watched it many times on TikTok. I've never seen a string coming from her up. So I think the only
True.
thing she's harnessed to is the car. And the car is what looked like it was about to fall from the sky. Because
Yeah.
it's almost like the car froze in midair and then was on a mega lean, like almost like a 45-degree angle. It was extremely steep and she was so high up in the sky. But this is what kills me. And this is why whenever anybody tries to hate on Beyonce, I will never in a million years tolerate it. She sang through the whole verse and chorus that she was on at that killer 45-degree angle. She must have had people in her ears telling her the car's frozen, like we can't move the car. She heard them say that, sang the whole goddamn song, and wasn't until she got to the end of the chorus that she said, stop, 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 stop.
Okay, see, I only
literally
saw a
dangling
photo.
in the air. No, you have to.
I
If
saw
you
a
see
photo
that
and I
clip,
was like,
Erica,
I have to see this clip because did she sing or was she like panicking? Because I would have been panicking.
No, sang the whole song. When I'm telling you, work ethic like that, these girls do not have. They simply do not have. No. She was dangling for her life. Finished the song so and crazy. Then said stop, stop, stop. And after she said stop, 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 sat there smiling and apologized to the crowd. Said thank you for your patience.
Wow. It's very Taylor Swift-esque also, because I feel like that, like the rain was going and we were still singing. And it's like there's only a few handful of performers that are like that good. And Beyonce is obviously the top.
And you wouldn't have known if you were just hearing her sing. You wouldn't have known there was a problem. The only thing that alerted you to the problem was the fact that the car stopped moving.
Yeah,
and it was on
and
this
you could
like
see it was on
lane.
Yeah.
Like other than that, you wouldn't have known because she still sounded fantastic. And again, finished the song.
She wanted the car to stop. What do we stopping?
No, she wanted everything to stop.
Oh, okay.
So when she said stop,
shut it down.
Yeah, she wanted the band to stop, the singers to stop. Like that was her alert.
Everyone
signal.
Be quiet because we got to figure this shit out.
Like I'm stuck up here, because I think like she is the executive producer of the show. So if Beyonce doesn't stop the show doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And she knows that. So that was her saying like, no, actually we do have to stop the show. Shit. Crazy.
How much longer does this tour go on?
I actually don't think there's that many more stops.
I was going to say it's got to be close,
a few more stops. I think there's Houston and Atlanta and maybe Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very close. We're very close to the end. And so when she came back out night 2, because that was night 1 in Houston when that happened. When she came back out night 2, she didn't bring the car.
Yeah, no shit.
She said,
by the way, I would cut the car from the whole fucking show. If that was
me too. She was 50 feet in the air dangling for her life. I'll be like, nah.
You think the car's going to come back? I'm scared the car's going to come back.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Not in Houston. Because to me, this isn't a show Houston malfunction. Problem. This is a Houston malfunction. Yeah. Whatever they got going on at that stadium, they didn't have it rigged up right. So is it possible it comes back in Atlanta? Maybe. But
honestly, I'm going to need to hear that she went into the back and said, Houston, we have a problem. Because if she didn't fucking do that, it's such a missed opportunity. Truly.
But because Beyonce is also deeply unserious, I don't know if you saw, but then she was posting it on Instagram.
No, I didn't see it. What did she say?
Wait, we have to pull this up because she posted it on Instagram, like a picture, but with a song in the back, like something about leaning, something.
Is she a millennial? That's such a millennial thing to do.
Yes, she is. She is definitely a millennial, and she is hilarious.
Relatable.
She's a deeply unserious person.
It's so funny.
Sitting sideways. She literally captions it. Sitting sideways.
Shout out to whoever edited that, because
Yeah.
solid editing. It's so funny. It looks
Isn't
planned. It looks planned.
It looks planned. She is so
Amazing.
funny. Like, yeah, and that edit was fantastic. I never even heard that song Sitting Sideways, but like
neither.
perfect.
It was perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh,
so
funny.
Thank God Beyonce is safe.
And so is her sense of humor.
And so is her sense of humor. And she got back up night 2, didn't skip a beat, but she did skip that song. She said, oh.
No, it's so funny. I love that.
She did skip that song, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad at her.
Fuck that song.
Yeah, fuck that song.
But I don't blame her.
Okay. Another thing that I fear we need to talk about. Now, I don't know if you've even seen this, and I don't know the full extent of this, but Taylor Swift, I guess, recently was in a video / photo with a couple of MAGA folks or MAGA adjacent folks. So podcasters Will Compton and Taylor Lewin. I'm not familiar with these people, but let me just pull up this article here.
Why was she with them?
It says it's in Yahoo Entertainment. Taylor Swift has raised eyebrows after she and her boyfriend Travis Kelce were pictured with podcasters Taylor Lewin and Will Compton. Fans of the pop star have since taken to social media to share their opinions on the viral photos, with some even calling her out for it. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship is waxing strong. So yes,
I do know a little bit about this because he was on that podcast that I guess these two may host. It's called like Bus something. Bussin' with the Boys. Bussin' with the Boys. Okay. So maybe this came from that, because I know he was on that show, right? And he talked a little bit about like paparazzi just being everywhere around him and stuff. Did you see that or no?
No, I didn't see that.
It was interesting. He said, like, I can't take a piss on the golf course anymore because they might put me, they might take my picture and then I'll be on page 6 with my like wang hanging out. And so I can't do that.
Kelce said?
Yes.
Oh,
so it was a very like bro, like a very football-y, bro-y podcast. He didn't say anything like bad, but he definitely like kind of alluded to like not pounding as many beers in public and stuff, like just that the paparazzi like hound the shit out of him. So I think maybe that's what happened. Maybe he went on the podcast and they all took a picture together. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so this says, in the snap, the couple can be seen standing next to the Bussin' with the Boys podcasters as they all flex their muscles and kept a straight face for the camera. Compton and Lewin seemingly campaigned for Donald Trump when they shared a video of the now president shaking their hands. And the caption was, "Firm handshakes for the boys and 47." And I think based on the way this is worded, it sounds like they did that before he had won. So the fact that they called him 47 would imply they were saying he's going to win. So that's why they called it essentially campaigning for him. And yeah, I will say, people,
I hate all of that.
There are a lot of Swifties who are like calling her out for hanging with MAGA. Apparently one viral post on Twitter read, "The fact that Taylor now hangs with MAGA folks tells me all I need to know about how performative she is. Where is that I want to be on the right side of history girl gone?" Another stated, "I need Tavis to be over so bad. It has brought nothing but Taylor hanging out with MAGA." Another person commented, "Taylor's on my last nerve. Like, girl, you've got to wrap up this MAGA WAG era ASAP and get serious." And I will just say, I had not seen this, but I had made a video because it wasn't just this. Someone else called out another person she hung out with. I had made a video about her performance at Tight End University, basically saying I thought the crowd was too quiet. And someone commented on that video, "Oh, but have you seen all the MAGA folks she's been hanging out with?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I hadn't heard about this." And there was some other person she hung out with too, who I think, is MAGA. So
you'll never convince me she's going to swing MAGA. You're just never going to convince me she's going to swing that way. But I think that he may have had a lot of people like that in his crowd, in his circle of people that he just is around, because of football and blah blah blah. I think it's kind of like unavoidable unless he stops like being friends with certain people. Otherwise, she has to fully be like, I don't want to hang out with your friends because they're a bunch of loser MAGA people. Like, you know what I'm saying? She has to like fully come out and say that and then get in an argument with her man. Like, so I get that, but it couldn't be me. I'd just be
It
like, I'm
couldn't
not
be me.
coming. You're gonna have to go on your own because I'm not coming. Like, and then I think I'd even have a problem with you going. It
And
depends on the
here's my
circumstances. Is he getting paid to be on this podcast? Well, I need more deets. Maybe even to her defense a little bit. I have no idea who these men are. And I'm chronically online. Does she know who they are? Like, truly, how does she? I wouldn't have known they were MAGA like right off the bat.
I mean, I'm gonna assume she does know who they are.
She's got to, right?
A grown up. She's smart. Presumably, Travis introduced her. Like, here are so and so of XYZ podcast. Like,
must be, right?
And also, she's media trained. Like, Taylor doesn't let herself get photographed with just anybody. So I have to assume she does know who they are. And she also was perfectly fine being photographed with, what's her name, the annoying girl who's married to Patrick Mahomes. What's her name?
Brittany Mahomes.
Brittany Mahomes. My feelings on this are complicated.
Mine too.
I think I extend her more grace than I do
other people.
A lot of other people.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying it's true.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm just, acknowledging my bias. I do extend her more grace than I do other people because, listen, I'll be upfront. I have gone on record on TikTok, on my Substack, on many places and said there is no room for being a Trump supporter or a Trump enabler. Just because you didn't vote for him, if you are making it comfortable for him and his beliefs, you're just as bad. I have said that on the record, and I believe that. Like, the only way we make it out of these 4 years with some semblance of our democracy intact is if the people who support his tyranny feel uncomfortable in lots of spaces, feel the weight of that decision, right? Like, but if they feel like, oh, it's fine, it doesn't matter, I can support him, it's just politics, like it doesn't matter if I support him or don't support him, I can still be friends with Trump supporters, it's all just possible. If that's how they feel, then the line of what's right and wrong is going to continue to get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, right? I genuinely believe that. And so based on that, I should be looking at that photo and saying, Taylor, you're just quite simply in the wrong, and I don't have patience for this. And because I'm a fan, a part of me doesn't want to say that. A part of me wants to do the thing that Swifties do, which is say like, oh, she might not even know who they are. No, she does. She knows who they are. Or, oh, well, what is she supposed to do? Like, ask everyone for their political affiliation before they meet? Maybe, because she has that big of a platform. Yeah, maybe she should. Right?
I think she's wrapped up. I think she's wrapped up with him. And she's not going to be like, hey, is your friend MAGA?
But I don't think she has to do all that. And that, I think, is problematic. I think that's problematic to be in a go with the flow era when Trump is literally deporting children and ripping them from their mother's arms and starting wars without Congress approval and passing a bill that is going to take millions of children off of healthcare.
Yeah.
In order to give his billionaire buddies tax cuts and, sending more money to the immigration camps that are being, funded. And that's the whole reason why we are literally deporting people who are here peacefully, who are not criminals. Like, we are talking about right and wrong. We're talking about morality. We're talking about 100%. Life and death. This is not something you can just have a go with the flow attitude on. And the fact that she does, if that's what this is, if we want to call it that, that's just more of this like infantilizing Taylor Swift bullshit that I just cannot get behind. She's a grown-ass woman. She knows the grown-ass consequences of her grown-ass decisions. And I give her grace, but honestly, I'm starting to run out of grace is sort of where I am.
Yeah. I know. I kind of agree with a lot of that sentiment. And just like for everyone, blanket, not just her, is like just kind of my motto for all of it. But that being said, I wish we could never hear about Trump ever again. I never want to hear that motherfucker's name ever again. Shit. I don't know if I have anything to add to that because you did a really good job of explaining it. And I have a hard time putting public figures and celebrities on pedestals like and politicians. Like, you're never gonna catch me with a politician's like sticker on my car. Like, my commitment is not that deep. So if you gotta get cut, you gotta get cut. Like, so we'll see. If you end up with a red hat, you're gonna get cut. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Verdict's still out, but I'm headed that direction as well.
It just, to me, is, do I think Taylor Swift is ever going to vote for Donald Trump? No, she's not giving that. But like, for me, the line in the sand isn't simply, did you vote for him? The line in the sand is, are you making it comfortable for the people who support him and support his tyranny? Like, and if you're doing that, then I have to draw the line in the sand there too. How
do you hang out though? How do you hang out? I couldn't. I'm sorry.
No,
I've tried.
And that's the thing. Like, why do people like that feel comfortable around you, Taylor?
Well, see, that's
it wouldn't feel comfortable around me.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, because that's like, I'll just remove myself because they're not gonna feel comfortable around me. It's just easier to remove myself.
And I have literally been in situations where it's gotten uncomfortable. Not for me.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Same. I feel great.
But for them.
Yeah.
It's not uncomfortable for me to be honest about the fact that what is happening in this country is insane, but it gets uncomfortable for others. So why do they feel comfortable around you, Taylor?
And I don't know why you'd want to be in a spot where you could end up like just arguing with people.
Yeah.
Because that's where that results every time.
Yeah, it's just giving, I don't know. I haven't drawn any firm conclusions yet.
No, but I
don't
know.
I feel myself inching away. Away.
Yeah, I hear you.
We'll see. I want to be a fan. I am a fan, but like these times that we're in, we don't have time for games.
We don't.
We don't have time for, I didn't know that this MAGA podcaster was a MAGA podcaster. We don't have time for that.
We don't. And I'm going to go ahead and say that podcast isn't that relevant because I have literally never heard of them. Have you?
No, I've never heard of it. No, never heard of it. I don't know anything about those men, but
I won't be looking into it any further. Stops there.
Same. I will not be diving deeper into the world of bussing with the boys.
No, me neither. Not bussing with the boys.
Yeah.
Shit.
No.
Gonna end up with a CD from bussing, and the boys gonna have to cut that one out.
Okay. The last thing that I wanted to get in here was we actually have never done an episode on Serena Williams and Venus Williams, but I've thought about it and I still might do a Two Queens episode on the two of them. So because of that, doing an honorary mention here because they recently announced they will be launching their podcast on Elon Musk's platform X this August.
What?
Yeah.
What? I was like so excited for a second. What?
I know.
You took the sail out of my winds. You set that up for like I was so pumped for a second. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. A new podcast. What is it about?
Yeah. It's called, hold on.
It's called Why Are You Doing It? What?
Right. It's called What in the Hell? I think it's called Unfiltered. This is what they say. Unlike traditional podcast platforms such as Spotify or YouTube, X offers real-time fan interaction, algorithmic prioritization, and exclusive visibility through its X Originals initiative. This makes the platform ideal for content creators looking to stand out in a crowded space. Okay, this is clearly just a fucking like press release. But then they say this platform gives us the chance to engage directly with our fans who have supported us throughout our careers, and we're excited to connect with audiences old and new in a way we've never done before. And yeah, it looks
Can I say something mean?
Called unfiltered. Yes, please. What is it?
Okay. It's giving. We asked a lot of people to do, a lot of famous people to do our podcast on X, and they all fucking turned us down. So now all we have left is Serena and her sister.
Is that what I mean? I do think they must have asked. I think they must have asked a lot of people. I think we're going to see a lot more people also say yes, though.
You think so?
I'm sure plenty of people turned them down.
Who?
But I'm guessing lots of people have also said yes. And Serena and Venus are the biggest names who said yes.
Nicki Minaj is going to say yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Have you ever seen Nicki does like Nicki Radio every night on X?
Yeah, I'm sure that Nicki would say yes. And it just...
a better podcast hosting experience than Spotify and Apple Podcast?
Right, exactly.
Who the fuck said that? That sounds fake. No.
I just feel like, I mean, I'm going to echo some of what I said with Taylor here. There really just isn't room for this. There isn't room for normalizing Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a bad supervillain man. He is a supervillain.
Yeah,
he is
trying to make
a white supremacist. He is a racist and a drug addict at that. Okay.
We need to circulate that video more.
He is terrible, and you're partnering with him, and we cannot sugarcoat it. We cannot gloss over it. That is true. And now I have to look at you differently. I quite simply have to look at you differently.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's the same thing. It's the money thing. They're all getting offered money, and they're just like overlooking their values for the money or maybe they love him. I don't know. Maybe they're friends.
Yikes. That would be so much worse. Oh my God.
He's trying to make a good guy come back now.
I pray to God it's just the money. I don't forgive that.
Yeah.
But I at least rationally
figure
they
must be paying better than everyone.
Oh, yes.
No way.
They must be. Elon is trying to build that space up, but yeah. Gross. I'm definitely side-eyeing them both. Yeah. Hard side.
I mean, the social media aspect of X is, in my opinion, isn't going great. The whole I left the platform because the platform's insane. And now we're adding in other things like podcasting. I mean, I don't think we need to add anything to fix what's broken. Go back to the way it was before when it was working.
Yeah, it's an absolute no for me. I hate this for them. And like whoever's left over on X, I feel like is a lot of like bigots and trolls.
Yeah,
that's the audience you're going for. Because if I'm understanding this little press release correctly, if you're saying it's exclusive, if the only way to listen to it is via X, well, I can guarantee you I will not hear not one episode.
Not one.
Not one singular episode.
Oh, so they're going for the boomer crowd? They're just like boomers and bots. That's our
boomers
crowd.
And bots.
We like the boomers and bots.
Gross.
I can't. Oh, no. Well, you're going to get what you deserve in that scenario.
Yeah, I hate that for them. Well, okay, that's it for me. That's my last update. So we've made it to our parking lot. You got anything?
I don't got anything except watch all of my film and movie content that I'm working very hard on and is getting no views. So please come and look at it. I'm desperate.
Everybody, you must go to Erica's TikTok, Letta_bitch know, and watch this content. It's good content. She's putting her heart and soul into this content. Okay. You must. TikTok algorithm. I mean, we were talking about this before we recorded. The TikTok algorithm is so insane right now and so dumb right now. I feel like it's showing me shit I don't care about. It's not pushing out any of my videos. I'm just like, some days it feels like, what's the point?
I know views. I'm like, and I know I'm going to annoy people. And I am currently annoying people by putting up like a TikTok shop video every like 7 videos, but like, you won't see my videos unless I do that. So watch. It's all stuff I use every day anyway. So like, I'm not going to sell you some weird shit. Yeah. Just, listen to me jangle around my ice in my cup and click it and share it, please. If you love me, you'll do it.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Support, please. Yeah. I'll just also plug my TikTok because I just feel like the views The views are so low
So
right now, and
bad.
it's so frustrating. And I've talked to many creators in the
Yeah,
same
it's
boat. Like,
everyone. Yeah.
it's just terrible. So yeah, we always say come find us on TikTok. I'm at @IM_KJ Miller. Okay, what I was going to throw in the parking lot, and I've made several
Yeah.
videos about this, and I'm going to keep talking about it.
Okay.
Lizzo's mixtape is so good. Have you
Oh,
listened to her
really?
mixtape?
No.
Oh my
But
God.
I loved Lizzo before the scandal. So like I would like to get back.
And this is like trap Lizzo. This is like
Okay, good.
rap
That's what I
hard,
love.
like so good.
Oh, I'm gonna
Every
go
song,
listen after this.
it's only 13 songs, which to me still feels long for a mixtape. When I saw 13 songs, I was like, I thought mixtapes were short, but maybe I don't understand mixtapes.
Right.
Somebody explained to me in my comments that really a mixtape, or at least like the original incarnation of a mixtape, was that you're taking like basically beats and samples that already exist and just rapping over them.
Oh, that makes sense.
So yeah. So, and you do hear a lot of samples in the mixtape. So I'm like, okay, I get that. Anyway, the point is, it's fantastic. It's such a good summer vibe. It's exactly what the girls need right now. It's like, put it on when you're on your way to the bar, or you and your girls are having a wine night, or whatever it is. It's just cookout, whatever. It's such a good vibe. So I just highly recommend, if you haven't listened.
I'm gonna listen per your
go
recommendation,
listen.
but I
It's
got a
so
little
good.
annoyed earlier at Lizzo because I
Why?
saw an article that said that she was like, despite my haters, I've like excelled this year or something along those lines. And she said, despite my haters, I'm thinking, or your accusers? Like people were accusing her of like SA. Like I'm like, I don't think we're just haters. I don't think it was just like internet haters, you guys. That's not what it was about. So that annoyed me a little bit, but I'll put it in the back of my head and I'll listen to it. I'll see.
Fair.
I'll give it a chance.
I did on another podcast in another life, when those allegations first dropped, I did go through that lawsuit. And I will say my takeaway from it was, because I don't know that there was actually SA. I think there were sexual harassment claims.
Okay.
I don't recall
maybe
there
not
being
assault.
sexual assault claims, but
they were claiming she made them go to like a
to a strip club.
Yeah, there were pong balls involved coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Like very inappropriate for a workplace. I think the overarching theme was like hostile work environment.
Right. Yeah.
And then like there were like many examples of that. My takeaway, and maybe I'm being insensitive, but my takeaway from that lawsuit was, it sounded more to me that like Lizzo was not a good manager.
Oh, for sure.
Unless that she was like,
she was trying to be their friend,
creating. Exactly. That was my takeaway. This is a lesson I learned so early on with my business. Trying to be my employees' friends is a no-go. We are not friends. Like that is not what we are.
I totally get that. Yeah.
Because if I'm worried about trying to be your friend, then I'm going to be a worse manager to you.
Yeah.
The end.
Because everything described in that lawsuit sounded like she was trying to like hype them up.
Be friends. Exactly.
To hang out.
Exactly, like treating them like they were her homegirls, and they're not your homegirls.
And that's what she likes to do on the weekend. So it's just
exactly,
like
and you're allowed to like to do that. And when you're out on tour, like everyone on tour is like the only people you've got with you. So I can understand. I'm not saying I never go out with my team. I do go out with my team, but I will tell you this.
Vibe.
Every time I've gone out with my team, particularly after like the first couple years, I always leave first. I'm always like, y'all have fun.
Yeah. I know.
I've heard, they'll tell me the next day, we stayed out till 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, cool. Right. I left the bar at 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Not me, because we're not friends.
Right. Yeah. I don't blame you. Totally.
And also, I know y'all are going to have more fun when I leave anyway.
Of
like,
course.
Who wants to party with their boss all night?
Yeah.
Nobody. So, yeah, to me, that was my takeaway. Like,
I could get behind that. I could see that.
And I'm sure she's grown since then, so maybe she's become a better boss. But what I felt like I was reading was like, oh, this is a lesson she needed to learn, and it sucks that she has learned it the hardest way possible.
And publicly.
Yeah. But that was my takeaway. Ooh. Anyway, the point is, the album is the bomb. It really is. It's fantastic.
You convinced me. I'll listen to it. Okay, I'll put it aside. I'll listen to it. That's it for this week, everyone. Be sure to follow us on TikTok at 2 Queens 2 Crowns, and to check out the podcast on YouTube, 2 Queens 2 Crowns.
Erica and I would also love for you to follow us on our personal socials. I'm on TikTok at @Iam_KJ Miller and YouTube with the handle IamKJ Miller. And Erica's on IG at Let It Be Know and TikTok at Let_Bitch Know. We'll see you next week.
Bye.